Welcome everyone. The Bhagavad Gita. Now we are at that stage where Arjuna do not need any more convincing because God has granted him that wondrous vision and now he has no doubt in his mind. However, Arjuna still needed to clarify a couple of things. At the moment, he had the complete attention of the Lord incarnate, and who knew when that might happen again? For all he knew, he could be dead by sunset, and then he would never have his answers until his next lifetime. So Arjuna decided to seize the moment. The war could wait. You are the formless, nameless one, Lord. I understand that now. But there are devotees, sincere in their devotion and their love for you, who choose to worship symbols of you. Trees, cows, the sacred fires, forms that they believe to be you. They give these forms different names, call them God and friend and child and lover and mother and father. They pour their hearts into those forms, singing your praises, doing their work in your name. I'm confused, Lord, and only you can clear my mind on this one. Who is the greater yogi? The one who worships you as the absolute, or the one who chooses to worship you through a form, a name, a symbol? There is no doubt, Arjuna, said the blessed Lord, that those who worship me as absolute will be closer to me. But it is not easy for the soul that is within a body, the soul that lives in this palace of illusions, that is the world, to break free, to see the world as it really is, to see me as I really am. Far easier to look for me and find me in many forms that you can see and touch and hear around you. Far easier to pour your love and devotion into things in which you can feel any or my presence. I would say that the man who can do that, treat every man, woman and child the same, seeing me in them, treat every creature with love, for I am in each of them. Treat the earth with respect, feeling my presence in her is the greater yogi. And therefore, I say to you, Partha, fix your mind and your understanding on me alone at every moment, whatever else you may be doing. If that is too difficult just now, then at least try and get there by the regular disciplined practice of meditation. Eventually, you'll be able to meditate on me through the day without even thinking about it. If your life is so full of action that it is hard to put aside time for the practice of meditation, then simply offer up your every action to me as you do it. Even if that is too hard, if you cannot remember to offer your actions to me, then at least carry out your actions selflessly without any desire for reward, with no expectations of a particular result. If you can do that, just that one thing, it is enough. Let me say it again clearly, simply, exhaustively. Let me define a true devotee for you, Partha. He who has no ill will towards anyone. He who is friendly and compassionate. He who is free of the ego, the sense of I, me, mine. He who is even minded in pleasure and pain. He who is always content. He who has self control and doesn't let his senses rule his mind. He who has willpower, whose determination is unshakable. He from whom the world does not shrink from fear or disgust or loathing. He who does not shrink from the world from fear. He who is free of anger and joy. He whose actions do not cause grief to anyone. He who does not feel grief because of anyone's actions. He who has no expectations. He who is pure in his thoughts. He who has stopped thinking of himself as the doer of the action and sees himself instead as part of a grand plan that involves everything else in the universe. He who is unconcerned about the results of his action. He who is untroubled whatever result his action produces. He who is free of desire. He who does not hate. He who has given up judging actions by the terms good and evil. He who behaves exactly the same toward friend and foe. He who behaves exactly the same towards someone who has a good reputation and towards someone with a bad reputation. He who is free of attachment. He who treats blame and praise in exactly the same way. He who does not speak too much. He who is restrained in his speech. He who is content with whatever he has and whatever comes his way. He who has no place he calls home. He considers the whole world to be his home and every creature in it his family. Such a man, Arjuna, is my devotee. Such a man is dear to me. And among such men, those who have complete faith in me, who think of me as their ultimate aim and rejoice in me, they are exceedingly dear. So, that's the knowledge Lord Krishna gave Arjuna. And, well, that's the desire of God. Thank you so much for listening. Do subscribe and share.